Normal childhood, parents are still together.
Aye.
I've got all my limbs, never been bankrupt, never been homeless. I had a bit of 2 holidays a year family. Mum had 2 jobs, dad had 1 job, nothing. You know what I mean? I haven't got that backstory.
Right. What was young Paul like though?
Little arsehole.
Yeah.
I was intense. I've got a daughter, she's 12, and she's exactly like I was when I was a kid. Loud, can't sit still, on the move, always trying to make people laugh. So I was definitely, I'm ADHD as fuck. I'm jumping around all the time, but when I was at school, I was, you know what I mean? I wasn't a stupid kid, but I was always trying to entertain other people. The typical, he's a class clown if he tried harder, do you know what I mean?
Oh.
I think a lot of us have that story. He was a class clown. Or if he concentrated, he'd be smart and he'd get all these grades and that, but I was just obsessed with trying to make people laugh and piss around. You know, when I look at it now, you know, I was probably, and I'm still like this now, I get bored very easily. And when I'm bored, that's when I'll look for trouble, if you like.
Okay, all right. The thing is, you're saying that as well. You're like, I get bored very easily.
Yeah.
But it seems like you've honed the energy that you have and structured a business
Yes.
which has stayed solid.
Yes.
So you actually have figured out that one thing and stayed on that one
100%.
thing. Was that really hard for you to do?
100%, yeah, because business is, I've been in business for 25 years this year, which is insane. I haven't had a job since I was 21. When I was 21, I got, funny enough, it was over in, they called it Gosforth, but it was Long Benton, really. It was Long Benton. They called it, the gym was called Green's Gosforth. It wasn't in Gosforth, it was Long Benton. And that was the last time I had a job. But my business is essentially, I've kind of figured it out on my own, which is, if I'm not interested in something, and I was the same at school, if I'm not interested in something, I'm not going to fucking do it. So I stopped forcing myself. And you find everyone talks about this when they've got this ADHD thing, is you find your one thing, you just fucking go all in on it. Because if I'm interested in something, I get obsessed with it. So I can call up random facts about footballers, for example. I can call up random things about jiu-jitsu. There's loads of things that I have a strong interest in that I get obsessed with, and then there's other things that I have no idea. If you ask me about politics, no idea. Ask me how much tax I pay, no idea. But I don't try and force myself to be interested in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think at school, my mum always says this. This is mad, this. You know the only 2 exams I passed at school? French and Spanish.
Really?
Legit.
Right?
Me Thai massage lady thinks it's hilarious that I didn't pass my own language. She said, you fail English, Paul? I'm like, yeah, I fail English. I passed French and Spanish. But then I'm like, do you know what it is? It's because French and Spanish, there was a talking exam, isn't there? There was no talking exam for English, so I couldn't bullshit my way through that. Do you know what I mean? But if I'm interested in something, I'm all in. And then I think at some point I was just like, you just force yourself to try and love something like numbers, anything to do with numbers, no idea. No idea. And then, like you say, mate, once I find the thing in business, I'm like, I'm going to lock onto it. And that's my thing.
It's always a worry as well, because you're a parent, I'm a parent, and you're always stressing. You're stressing about the same stuff your parents stress about.
Aye.
It's like, I want them to be good, I want them to just like be easy and good at everything and all that kind of stuff. Well, you've done quite fine and dandy, do you know what I mean? And you probably weren't like sitting in a classroom very well.
This is a problem, you know, because my kids know that I didn't try at school.
Right.
And my mum tells them, I wouldn't tell them that, because they like see us in the car and they see we're travelling and the house we live in and the business that I built. And I don't want them to think it's okay to fuck around at school.
Yeah.
When my mum will go, well, your dad messed around. I don't want them to go, well, Dad, you didn't try at school and you've done what you've done. So I'm trying to so what I tell them about is the fact that, I'm sure we'll get onto this, when I left school with 2 GCSEs, what do you do? What the fuck could I do? The only job that I could get was a YTS, remember them? 30 quid a month or something. Right. And I used to have to get a bus from where I lived in South Shields to Chichester Metro Station. Then I got a metro to Gateshead, interchange, and then another bus to Team Valley to make radiators.
Right.
And I tell me kids about those 4 years. And then I went to work at Davy Roll, which is right on the Tyne Bridge? American Steel shut down now. I had to work there for 4 years. So I tell me kids about those 4 years of my life that I hated. I ended up in a job that I hated because I didn't have any other prospects.
But that job that you hate, that's motivation to not do that job.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Honestly, when I'd struggle in business, I'd be like, well, now I could be back there. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that job was horrendous for me because you're just doing anything that's repetitive and doing the same thing all of the time.
Yeah.
A nightmare for me. And I was shit at it as well. I was so bad at it. I had no interest. Imagine that. You've got someone working for you who has no interest in what they're doing, and they're shit at it.
Yeah. Aye.
You know what I mean?
It is a motivator. I'm the same, Paul. I used to spray paint. Do you know what I mean? I worked in factories.
Aye.
Schmidt's, Cargo, Ball, worked at Komatsu.
Aye.
But I just didn't fit in. It wasn't my game at all.
Aye. And some people love it.
Aye.
Aye.
It just
but
wasn't
I think,
me.
you know what I think? You know, I think creative people don't do very well in jobs that require no creativity.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I wouldn't call myself really a creative, like a drawer or an artist, but at some level I've got to be creative because I'm creating content, I'm creating emails, I've created a business, I've created loads of things. Yeah. So I think that I just didn't fit in anything that wasn't creative.
It's finding your own path. Was that hard for you to find your own path?
Oh, very hard. I just kept falling over and going down the wrong path and bashing my head against a brick wall. And do you know what it is? I actually think I'm still probably finding it a little bit. I'm fine with if I go. I don't think I'll be doing what I'm doing in 4 or 5 years' time, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because you fall in and out of love with things.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Plus, also it's landscapes, and there's a little bit of a freedom to go. I can pivot. I can do anything I want.
Yeah.
Because I know I can be successful in it because that drive got me to where I am now.
And especially now when you've got the internet and personal brands. Like once you start to build a personal brand, you can pivot and do anything you want. I mean, we were talking about my friend Chris Williamson before. Him, my other friend James Smith started this new tonic. I'm an investor in that, and they started that, and they will be hands off eventually because it's relied on them to push it. But then they'll be like, new tonic, Red Bull have bought it. Yeah, that's when I'll turn up here on a helicopter. But that's the power of personal brand. It doesn't matter what your business is. You could stop doing what you do now, and people are on the journey with you, so they'll often come with you. And often it's like seasons as well. Like there was a time where I was doing live shows and I was speaking everywhere. And now I don't want to do that anymore because I don't want to travel and be away from my kids. Do you know what I mean? So I love being on the stage. It's one of my favorite things to do. But at the same time, I hate to travel. So now I'm like, I'll tell you what, I'll come and do that gig. But you need to pay for my kids to come as well. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I don't. They're at that age now. My son's 15, my daughter's 12. And they're getting to that point where they're not want to hang out with us soon. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and again, I think eventually when they get a little bit older, I'll probably end up doing way more speaking. Yeah. So I think you become adaptable as well. Yeah. You have these seasons in your life where you change your mind about what it is you love, and I'm all right with that. And like you say, you do build up this resilience and this thing where you're like, I can kind of do, not anything, but I can do anything I want career-wise. Yeah.
Do you find that what you do, it's kind of, is what you do who you are?
Yes. Right now it is. Right now it is, yeah. It's
Does that worry you or not?
Nah. I think sometimes a business owner, I'm not saying I have a very nice work-life balance, but mentally it's all just blends into one. Do you know what I mean? My business, I was saying it before, relies heavily on me. It relies heavily on me. It kind of is me. There's no business without me. I mean, like I say, I do get a lot of time off and I do have a team, but ultimately if I wasn't there, there's nothing to sell. But part of me likes that. I like being the center of attention. I like being the one that people rely on. I mean, that's probably the best thing about school. I'm like, do you know what? If I didn't fuck around so much at school, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? Because I realized then it was, stop being the center of attention. I'm like, well, I've made a fun career out of it.
Well, it seems like you're not bothered though, because some people, I was like the introvert, shy. I'd put my hand up, I'd dare not see anything. Do you know what I mean?
My son's like that, you know.
For some reason, adults like always scared me. Do you know what I mean? It was tough to kind of. Yeah, I probably didn't come out my shell. I was like in my 40s.
Oh, really?
It's honestly, seriously, mate. It's really hard, but it's what you do forces you in the room to become that person. But you get to like wear a different hat or become a character. Yes. Now with this, I'm trying to push my own personality out. Because the thing is, when you don't like the personality and you think nobody likes the personality, that's what holds you back.
Do you know I still have this? I've been working on this. I've got a social media post or video in my head about not being liked. I still have that thought. No one fucking likes me here. You know what I mean? But I'm kind of okay with it because this changed my life actually. I remember being in America and I was talking about this concept of worrying about whether people like you or not. I'm not that arse, but everyone has that thought. It's normal because you want to be, I think it's some primal thing where you don't want to be the one who's kicked out of the tribe. You don't want to be the one that can't sit around the fire when it's freezing, you get kicked away. But someone said to me, do you like everybody? And I was like, no. He was like, well, why would everyone like you? And I'm like, It made a lot of sense. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, actually, I don't like everybody, so why would everyone like me? I was like, you're totally right. Do you know what I mean? If everyone likes you, you're probably a little bit bland, you're probably trying to fit in, you said the word playing a character, I love that. Because you probably are playing a character if you're trying to be liked by everybody.
You do, aye. I mean, for me, it's a skill set and you kind of gain all these skills.
Yeah.
You're a chameleon. I've got to figure somebody out walking in a room in about 3 minutes. And then you've got to be a different human.
Do you know what? I think there's something to be said for, there's nothing that anyone can say about me that I haven't already said. I've got nothing, there's no skeletons, there's nothing I haven't already said, I've got nothing to hide. There's definitely nothing that anyone can think about me that I haven't already thought about myself. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We're our own worst critic. So there's some level of freedom in that as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. But it can kind of tip the balance to self-hate talk, all that kind of stuff.
100%.
Because we know, Chris does it. I mean, shout out to Chris Williamson for his podcast because it actually helps, and it really does. Because you get some great people on there. They kind of go, oh, I didn't think about it that way.
And sometimes I think that the thing about people like that is, and I've had some big names on my podcast as well, not as big as Chris, but when you meet these people, they're like, these are just normal people and normal blokes. Do you know what I mean? I met Tyson Fury. Me first ever guest on my podcast was Tyson Fury. I met him. He was just a normal bloke. He was kicking off about the queue at the tip. He went to take a selfie at the end and his phone, he just got paid $90 million for a fight with Deontay Wilder, the first one. Yeah. And he comes in and his phone's like cracked. The phone's terrible. I'm like, what the fuck's that? I've got a brand new iPhone and I was just a normal bloke. Yeah. We booked him for a certain amount of time and at the end he was like, oh, is that it? I was like, well, we only had 45 minutes. He's like, well, we'll just keep going.
Yeah. Aye.
Sound?
It is. It's mad. You've got to ask the person, not the people that's around that person as well.
Liberating.
It is. Yeah. Have you always been like this as well, Paul? As a kid, you said ADHD, but
yes.
Does it inner confidence, or is the not giving a shit or the drive forward override that confidence?
Ooh, no. I think there was definitely a period of life where I would say I got it beaten out of me. I still remember this, and this is quite intense, quite deep. I remember, my mum will watch it and she'll remember saying it. I was in year 10 at school. And at year 10 was when I really, I didn't go off the rails. I didn't get kicked out of school or anything. I got threatened with it all the time. You're fucking around, you're wasting your potential. I remember in year 10, we had a parents' evening and my mum said, I'm never coming to a parents' evening again because I'm ashamed. And I'll never forget that. And she knows she said it, but that was a big change for me. I was like, oh, shit. And then I kind of went into my shell a little bit. And I was like, you know when you get to that point where you're like, I'm not even going to try anymore. Like, almost, what's the point? I can't please anyone, and that happened for a little bit, but then I suppose, and I still have this in me now, I also started generating a bit of fuck you energy. I'll fucking show you. I think I spent the first 10 years of me adult life, definitely the first 5 or 6 years in business trying to prove me mum and dad wrong. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Me mum and dad would be, you'll never do anything, you're full of shit, you'll never do this, you'll never do that, what's the point in that? I still remember, man, and again, I've talked about this in my books, and my mum and dad are there. I remember when I first set up my business, I left a job. When I left Davy Roll, they kicked me out. I had to go and live with my wife's, at the time, she was my girlfriend, I had to go and live with them because I left a job that my dad got me. At the time, it was good money because I'd finished my apprenticeship. And I went to work in a gym, and I went from 40 grand a year to 11 grand a year. Mm-hmm. And they didn't, because they're from the generation, that's all about job security.
Well, it is, it's disappointing as soon as that happens. But they're probably
disappointed you've let me down. I got you that job, you ungrateful little bastard.
Yeah, because you can hear it now. It's that pressure on parents trying to kind of hold it all together. And like, oh, not again. He's done this at school, he's done this. When's he not going to do it? Here's the worst
one, right? So I eventually moved back in with him after working in this gym for a bit. Funny enough, I moved to Harrogate for a little bit, but I came quickly back and worked in Gosforth. And I still remember this as well. I left that job to start a business, and they gave me shit again. They're like, we kind of have this, you need to have a job, a stable job. Right. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go in. So luckily, my wife's, I was 70 when I met my wife. I'm 46 now, so we've had a long stint. Do you know what I mean? Luckily, she's mad supportive. My parents are mad supportive. I never really fell out with my mum and dad. They were just like, you can't do that and live here, son, because I couldn't pay board. I couldn't pay me rent. So I had to go and live there for a bit. And obviously with that, there wasn't a massive fallout. It was just like, we're done. We're not having this. And then it was kind of, well, fuck you, watch this. And I've still got that attitude now. Do you know when people give me shit on the internet, and I love a bit of we'll call it weasel slaying. Come on then, if you want some, you can have some. And I still have that now, and I don't know, loads of shrinks and that will probably say it's not healthy, that. Oh, you should be operating from peace and love and that. I mean, that's not me, man. I'm like, just tell me I can't do something or give me some shit and I'll clap back at you.
I think you always need some of that to kind of motivate you.
You do,
well.
Keeps you hungry, man.
It keeps you hungry, but also it's in your head all the time.
It's a little game in your head, I think, you know. I love playing little games in my head. Like, I'm convinced everyone wants me to fail. No fucker probably wants me. They don't care. I'm not that important. But I'm still convinced, no one thinks I can do that, so I'm going to do it. And the reality is no one gives a shit. But I think you've got to make these little games up in your head to stay motivated, to stay hungry, to keep pushing. You just make these little shit games up in your head.
Yeah, it's all about jealousy and stuff like that. And envy and jealousy, right? I know envy is different to jealousy. Envy is something that you want, and jealousy is something that they have.
I love that. Yeah. And then again, sometimes, you know, when I get shit on the internet, the next day, sometimes I'll be like, I'll get a message like 1 a.m. and obviously I'm not up there and I'm in bed from 8 p.m. or something, right? But the next morning, and I'll send them a message bantering them, and sometimes they deny it. I didn't send that, I got hacked. I'm like, what? Someone hacked you and decided to go on my account and call me a dick?
That's a lot of effort.
That's what everyone, they're more likely to try and get into your bank account, mate, you know, than message Paul Mort. But then sometimes they can't remember or they're pissed. So sometimes we'll make ourselves more important in our head, and I'm definitely being guilty of that.
So you don't David Goggins it? You don't record it on like one track and listen to what you're
Nah, I haven't got time for that. I haven't got time for that. Honestly, and in fact, if we talk about social media and that, like, my most popular posts or when I banter someone.
Really?
Because I have a lot for people. Like, oh, you should ignore them. I'm like, well, that's not much fun, is it? Because you just, it's like, you know, when comedians do crowd work, that's when you know a comedian is really good, is if that crowd work's unbelievable, because that's on the spot, that's proper crack. Yeah. And I think that's my version of crowd work.
Well, it's kind of you being you.
It is.
It's the most authentic way of you.
It is, because if someone said that to me in the street, I'd banter them.
Aye. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, you go, your eyes.
Yeah.
Your eyes. You shit your mouth shit.
So let's go from Davy Roll.
Yes.
Right? You met your girlfriend 17.
17.
I'm guessing there's a period here where you like a bit of partying. Like everybody, I'll throw my hat in that ring, right? Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, right?
Been 2 heavy periods in my life of partying, and that was the first one.
So do you look back on that with regret, or do you look back on that as a chapter in your life? And can you talk about that? So
the first part, if I'm going from 17 to maybe 22, that's kind of what you're doing it. It wasn't that bad. It was, I mean, shit, the job was...
It's culture.
It is culture.
Lifestyle.
It is culture. Yeah. I got fat, and that's how I ended up working in the gym, because I was an apprentice. I was getting decent money in the end. I worked in a bar. Can you remember the venue in South Shields? No. I was a glass collector there. That's how I met my lass there. It's the best job I've ever had to this day. Remember the gangbang? We're having a gang. I got paid to literally shag birds on a stage. Unbelievable. The best job I've ever had by a mile. And I'm still mates with all the lads that I work with there, right? Yeah. So I met my lass. I worked there on a weekend as well. So I was literally going from work to working in a bar where I got paid to party. It was class. So then 4 years I got fat, and then I lost weight, then became a personal trainer. So those ones are fine. But then later down the line, mate, when I was 30-ish, when I started succeeding in business, that's when it got out of hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's when it got out of hand.
As you're younger,
yeah.
And then you kind of hang the gloves up early.
So it was young. I partied until I was 21, 22, got in shape. So I kind of got rid of that. And then later, I built my business, and I was a fitness guy. Drank every now and again, and then I started seeing success in business, and then I ended up back on it because I didn't know how to deal with it. I had no reference of what you do when you start making money.
So you go from being a trainer to your business. What was that business? So
the business was so I worked in the gym, and then I was personal training people. This is mad, this. I don't even think this happens now. I used to go to people's houses and train them in their sitting room.
Oh, really?
One-to-one personal training. That's how it was back then. Yeah. And then I teach spinning classes, aqua aerobics, legit, aqua aerobics, yoga, Pilates. I teach all of them in all the different gyms. Yeah. And then I set up this boot camp in the park. Or actually, you know what it was? It was in, the amphitheatre in Shields. I should train people there. Yeah. And I made pretty big money doing that. Really? Really good. I was really popular. I would have 100 people a month, smashing it, decent money. In fact, Richard, can you remember when Coleman's wasn't Coleman's and they had the lifeboat? Oh. Can you remember that?
I do.
Well, here's a mad story. When I was maybe I'd been on a session on the weekend. I was pretty successful at this point. I'd been on a session at the weekend. I went to teach an early morning fitness class. It's a Monday. And I'd slept in, so I didn't, you know, we have a routine of get up, have a coffee, have a shit, go out. Well, I got up, grabbed me coffee and drank the coffee on the way out. And then I'm in the amphitheatre and I'm teaching this warm up and I'm like, I need a shit. What do you do? So I was like, well, I can't drive home because by the time I drive home and come back, the session's going to be finished. So I ran. Can you remember when it was a public toilet? Oh. I ran to the public toilet. It's locked. I'm like, what am I going to do here? So I shit outside the public toilet, right? And there was CCTV. And I got a summons to go to court because they recognised us. No. That's terrible, isn't it? For having a shit out. And I always remember this. I did a live show at the Titan Theatre. And someone had shared, so people were taking photos and sharing it all night. And Richard messaged us saying, what are you saying about my restaurant? Because there was just a photo of the old building. I started seeing success maybe when I was about 29, 30. And that's when things started to unravel. Okay. Really.
So what's that stage? Because is that, obviously it's because of, it's the ego gets in the way, doesn't it?
Ego gets in the way.
Success.
I didn't know how to deal with it. It's when I first started getting it, because I'd never really been, you know, you get criticised by your parents and that, but I'd never really been hated on. And when you start winning, fucking losers will let you know. That's when people in South Shields started talking shit about me, started commenting on my videos. I'd get people writing blogs about me, do you know what I mean? And I didn't know how to deal with that, so my way was, well, you know where I live, dickhead. Honestly, I was angry back then. And then I'd drink, and then I'd party, and then we had a son, and then we went on honeymoon to Marbella. Didn't come back.
Really?
I didn't come back.
Hang on. Tell me this story, please.
Well, so in the personal development world, there is this thing where you should remove all the negative people from your life. You've heard of that before, right? Let's not hang around with any vampires. Toxic this, toxic that. Right. Don't, only surround yourself with positive people. So I followed that advice to the letter. If someone was a complainer or the negative, I got rid of them until there was only me left. So I moved to Marbella, but I didn't speak to my man for 6 months. I got sick of fucking complaining about shit. But I just fell out with everybody because I was angry and I was all over the place. I had a lot of work to do on myself. And then we went to Marbella on a honeymoon. I was like, oh, it's great here. There's no negative people. We didn't even know anyone, man. And then that just turned into, I suppose, a 2-year lad's holiday. Okay. Everyone, when you live in Marbella, I'll come out and see you for the weekend. And then I just ended up, the only person I knew was a fucking dealer.
Really?
So I'd literally go out on my own.
So relationship, did you?
That was, so me, my wife, my son moved out. And then she was just, she put up with a lot of shit, mate. It wasn't over.
There was separation, but it wasn't over.
No, there was no separation. Okay. So we went to Marbella and we stayed in, all of us went to Marbella. My daughter was born there. Right. So we went to Marbella for 2 years and she was just, she's full-time raising a 2-year-old and a newborn. Yeah. And a fucking 34-year-old baby, to be fair. Yeah. And then while I was there, that's when I got diagnosed ADHD first. And then I kept having these just massive, huge mood swings where I just get depressed for weeks. And the diagnosed with bipolar disorder, so manic depression. And then that was the point where she was like, we need to go home.
Right.
So we basically packed up and came home.
Because you're there, because the highs are the high and it's great. And you want to attach yourself to the highs.
Aye, and obviously I'm accentuating the highs with all the shit I'm putting up my nose.
Yeah, so you're doing that. She's aware of it, but she's just kind of letting it slide for a little bit.
She hasn't got time.
Right.
She's dealing with a 2-year-old and a newborn. And I built a business at that point, so the business is still running while I'm not there. I've started a supplement company while I live there. So business is fine. I've never had as much money, I have. But back then I didn't know what to do with it. Yeah. So I spent all my time, I had loads of time. And do you know what's funny? I believe this is a problem for modern men actually, is that I stopped striving for anything. I stopped setting goals. I lost me hunger, I lost me drive, I lost my sense of purpose. I didn't have anything that I was going after, so I was boredom. There was a lot of boredom. So how do I numb boredom and not know what to do, not know where, just drink and sniff. That was my thing.
So the highs, what's the lows look like then, Paul?
Oh, fucking hell. Not being able to get out of bed. Hating yourself. Blaming everybody else. And the overriding thought I had at the time, and this is quite deep actually, is that I believe that no one would give a fuck if I killed myself. That was me, the overriding thought that I had over and over again. I was like, no one would even give a fuck. And that probably kept us alive, to be fair.
Really?
So no one would care, so what's the point in that? Do you know what I mean? Probably kept us alive. I would seesaw between, well, no one would care if I killed myself, and then, well, what's the point if no one cares?
Drown yourself in your sorrows, then you come back to the same.
Just
round and round in
and the lows are like, I would say they are like swimming with your clothes on, just fucking staying above water, just heavy, dark, looking for a way out, and I just rotate between anger and deep sadness. That rotate between the two, and then every so often I'd come out, and I'd be fine for a bit, and then I'd come back down again, and then I'd get overwhelmed with it all, and then lose me shit, and then you kind of get on this cycle where you want to feel better, but the only way you know how to feel better is drinking and sniffing. So you feel better for a bit, and then you've got to come down again. It's fucking hell, man. Awful.
It's awful. It's like a level of self-pity, though,
It is. And I didn't know what else to do. I mean, wife, fucking hell, bless her, man. She would drag me all over. Every ist you can think of. Psychotherapists, psychologists, fucking hypnotists. And I'd fucking just get up and walk out quite a lot, because I'd look across the table. I'd be like, you've got no fucking idea. You're reading your fucking books. You're quoting your textbooks. You've got your fucking white coat on. And I was like, you've got no idea. And to be fair, they often didn't. If you've experienced it, you know, I can tell when someone's been there before. And I just get up and walk. And then I remember one lady, so we moved back to South Shields. South Shields, where I was at rock bottom. So we came back home, and my wife was re-energized. She was like, we're going to get this fucking shit sorted. We're going to get you sorted.
Leave the place, go back home, get this tied up.
It got worse, didn't it? Because guess what I know in South Shields? More people that want to drink. Of course I do. I didn't know anyone in Mobile. I just go out on my own. And some of my mates would come out every now and again. More people that drink and more dealers. So it was easier. More bars that were open through the day. Better bars. Better beer. Do you know what I mean? More matches I could go to and get on the session, away days and home games and that.
More escape, isn't it?
More escape. So actually, it got worse for a little bit. And then I'll always remember this lady. She's from Sunderland. She's called Donna Turner. She'll hate us saying her name. Donna Turner saved my fucking life. So I got referred to, it was Christmas Day. I had the suicide watch team at my house on Christmas Day.
By your wife again?
Yes. So I remember, I think it was maybe the 21st of December, 2014. I'd go missing for like days and just turn my phone off.
Binges.
Aye. Proper sessions, aye. And sometimes, this is crazy, on that cliff video that I've made, have you seen that one yet? 15 million views. On that cliff video, there's a lot of fucking horrible comments, right? But there's stuff like, why is your wife there? And I don't get why, if you're going to kill yourself, why is your wife there? And I'm like, she used to fucking follow me every time I left the house. Because she didn't know if I was going to come back. So she'd drive my daughter, my baby daughter in the back of the car, because I'd go out in the car and sometimes I'd legit disappear for days. And she followed me, to the cliffs where the cannon is in South Shields. And she literally ran out of the car. To this day though, honestly, I don't know if I would have. I don't know whether I had the courage to do it, but I was ready. And to be fair, it's not that high. I shouldn't joke about it, it's not that high. It's legit not that high. So I don't know if I would have done it, but then she was like, you need it. This is crazy, this. So I self-published a book in 2019. In 2020, not a publisher, an editor came forward and said, Paul, I think you should add in an afterword from your wife. And I read, this is crazy, this. I might get emotional here. She wrote this afterword and she thought it was her fault. And that blew my fucking head off. And she actually said this. And this stings a little bit as well. She considered letting me kill myself because she didn't want to see us in pain anymore. I was in so much pain. I was like, just let me do it. And she said, I almost just let him do it, because obviously when someone you love is in that much pain, you probably don't want to see them go through it.
Because she's seen it so many times, Paul, and she's tried and tried and tried. And
what else can I do? And she was at her wit's end. What else do I do? Shall I let him go? Will be better. And that's a crazy thought to me. So she got me this support that sat with me for like 3 days to make sure they just come every day and sit with me. Sometimes I wouldn't even talk to them. Sometimes I was fucking playing PlayStation like a teenager. And this lady, Donna Turner, used to come and see me every week. And I remember one time, it was probably it was during that Christmas period where I'd been on the sesh and I told her that I wasn't Gani. And she just looked at us in a way, was like, she didn't even say anything. She had glasses, she reminds me of my mum actually. She wears glasses, Donna. She just looked at me over the top of her glasses like that, and it was almost like, are you fucking serious? Like legit. And I took that look and I was like, I have to get my shit together here. I've never had anyone really call me out on it. Because when you're low like that, everyone like mollycoddles you, tells you how fucking great you're on, that everything's okay. But someone like me, I needed a kick in the dick. I didn't need an arm around my shoulder. I had that. Do you know what I mean?
But sometimes a stranger that needs to
That's what it was. It was almost like she legit didn't say a word, and the look that I got from her, I took from it. Are you fucking serious, mate? Get your fucking shit together, legit. And I took that as like, oh shit. I felt like I'd let her down. She didn't even say anything. I felt like I let her down, and I suppose I brought a bit of that fuck you energy again. Fuck you. Watch. I'm gonna do it. Because it was. I don't know what it is. It's just everyone. Because when you're low, everybody does want to give you love. I needed tough love. Aye. For example, if my wife had threatened to leave me, I would have probably fucking leveled up. If she said, if you don't sort this, I'm gone, I would have, but if she said, she would have been thinking, well, if I say that, he'll just fucking kill himself.
You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of your mother when you were at school.
Yeah, fuck you.
Ashamed of you.
Aye.
It's the same thing.
Aye, same cycle, aye.
This female.
That's weird. Donna legit. Yeah. She looked at me over these glasses. I'm like, that's what my mum used to look at us like when I was at school. Yeah. And I think I probably took, and it wasn't smooth, obviously. Yeah. There was fucking ups and downs and highs and lows still. But Donna saved me life. And I bumped into her a couple of years ago and I hadn't seen her for years, and I fucking gave her the biggest hug I've ever given anyone in my life.
And what was her reception to you then? What was she like?
Unbelievable. She's fucking helpful. She watches what I'm doing, I think. I think she watches a little bit. I've asked her on my podcast loads of times. She's like, no, I can't.
Oh, she won't.
It's like, Donna, you saved me fucking life, man. Yeah. So Donna watches me on the internet every now and again, so she knows what's going on. But Donna Turner and my wife saved me life without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. Obviously, I do the work, but that combination of proper love and tough love was exactly what I needed. Mm-hmm. I think men sometimes, you do need a rocket up the arse. Mm-hmm. It's like, when you talk about football, let's talk about man management. Some players need an arm around the shoulder. Some people need a kick in the dick. Yeah. I needed both. Yeah.
Two-pronged approach, mate.
That's exactly what it was.
So obviously that's taken a little while to get yourself up and running. Yeah. So what's it like from then? You kind of, obviously it's a bit bumpy, you mentioned that, but where do you go from there then?
I got obsessed. So for 2 years, I got obsessed with everything to do with this mindset, human behavior, brain, health, energy, just the way that people behave. I got obsessed with it, not for anyone else, just for me. So people say this, people think I disappeared for like 18 months. Chris would call it monk mode. I kind of did go monk mode. I just fucking didn't post on the internet because I'd sold the business as well, so I was sound for money for a bit. Right. I'd sold the supplement company, my business partner bought me out. So I was sound for money for a bit, and I was just like, I'm going to get my head down. I'm going to get my shit together. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to learn some stuff. And then I posted that clip video because I'd actually made that clip video 18 months prior, So when I had the supplement company, a friend of mine, Mort, used to come up and shoot marketing videos. And I said to him one day, by the cliff, I said, mate, I said, I've got something I want to say. And there's no script or anything. I didn't even plan on making the video. I said, just set the camera up there. I need to talk about this cliff. I just seen it. And I just shot from the fucking hip. I just said what it was like. And I just fucking went for it. And he's a big hardcore Mark as well. And he was crying. I was like, this must be good. And he messaged me every month, maybe every 6 weeks, saying, when are you going to post that video? But I didn't have the balls to do it. Mm-hmm. And then I posted that video. And people were like, how have you done this? How have you turned this around? And people wouldn't know. They'd be like, you're different. Mm-hmm. And people from my previous businesses were like, how have you done this? You're not the same. And I was like, what are you on about? Like, you talk slower. There's a different energy about you. There's a different kind of confidence. And I didn't even notice it really. And I'd lost like 5 stone. So physically I looked different. My voice had changed. It was weird. And then everyone started asking me how I did it. And then that rolled from there. And then I'm still doing it now. Yeah. It's weird, but it came as a result. It's kind of like, when I said I became a PT, because I lost 5 stone and people asked me how I did it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then it happened again. And that's how I built. So I went from, we missed this part out really. So I became a PT because I lost weight and people want to know how I did it. Then I built a successful PT business. PTs asked me how I did and I started mentoring them. Mm-hmm. And then I lost my shit, got my shit back together. Yeah. And people started asking me how I did it. Legit, I've stumbled in it. And one of my speaking coaches, Michael Hebbel, hates it when I say it. I'll be on the stage and I'll be like, I've stumbled in everything I've ever done. And I have. I've literally stumbled into what I do now. Stumbled into speaking, stumbled into stand-up, stumbled into jiu-jitsu because my son did it. And I didn't want him to fill us in. Mad part is he could fill me in now. He's a boxer and he's a very good boxer. Beats the shit out of me, 15. And a rugby player is way harder than me. But yeah, man, I've just kind of stumbled into the whole thing. And fucking hell, even publishing deals and book deals, I haven't even gone looking for them. I've just fell into them. It's weird.
Well, it's usually how life works. If you try and focus too hard on it, it doesn't happen.
I kind of still, my main priority still every day is I have to drink first. I have to eat first. I have to do my shit first before I try. There's the old saying about fitting your gas mask first on the plane. I still have to do that every day because I'd also like to think I'm a bit of a people pleaser as well. And I think that's, when you used to make people laugh at school, I've still got that. So I have to work hard and not try and please everybody and entertain everybody. And I have to, as a business owner, I think you kind of have to be a bit of a people pleaser because you're of service. And I like to be of service for people and I like feeling important. And I like getting praise. And I like getting, not many people admit this, I love getting praise. I love people laughing at me jokes. I love feeling significant. But sometimes that can come at the detriment of your own health and mental health and that. Yeah. So I just, every morning still, I have to serve myself first. And then people just seem to have, obviously I market hard. I'll stalk you on the internet now. It'll be me ads and all that. And my team will have videos of me everywhere. Anyone that's watching this, and I'll be fucking sick of seeing me.
Yeah, right? Yeah, but that's how you get known though.
It is, and it's business, innit? Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, I think you become, when you work on yourself and you've got good energy and you're passionate, I think you kind of become a bit of a magnet to opportunities.
You
do you know what I mean?
But you're driving this forward. You're just putting yourself out there. Was that a massive thing? Obviously, I think
with that video, huge.
I think that cliff thing was like you putting you out there for the first time. I was
terrified.
Yeah.
I was terrified. I sat on it for 18 months, man. 18 months because I was scared. Fucking hell, the stuff I talk about in it, at that time, mate, 2017, I dropped the video, no one was talking about that shit. No one was talking about mental health. There was no Andy's Man Club are amazing. I know Luke that started that. Andy's Man Club, all these mental, Space Northeast, brilliant. All these companies, brilliant. They weren't around then. They weren't around 2015, 2016. So when I dropped that video in 2000, I was like, what if me fucking mum sees it? I'm talking about wanking and sniffing coke and smoking weed and taking it easy and that. You know what I mean? I'm sure she knew. I'm sure she knew, but still, I was like, what if my mum sees it? What if my dad sees it? He stops me fucking pocket money. But what if my mates see it and that? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then the mad part is, mate, and no one talks about this, all of the shit that I was worried about actually happened. The criticism, the people telling me I should have jumped, which I still think's insane. Well, you should have jumped and took your wife with you. Legit, I get comments like that every day. And that all those comments happened, right? One, I realised it's not that bad. I'm not going to fucking die from someone saying shit on the internet. But then at the same time, for every negative comment, there was 10 people saying I'd fucking changed their life and I'd saved their life and I'm so glad I've seen this. And people tagging their wives in it. And their wives going, I'm so glad my husband saw your video, I'm getting emotional. But that's the impact that I had. And to have that impact, I had to kind of get over myself. Do you know what I mean? I had to stop making that video. Isn't really about me. It's about how many people have fucking seen it. And fucking hell, that's how I got Tyson Fury on the podcast. Spoke to me mate. He works for Tyson. I said, mate, do you think Tyson will come on the podcast? He said, probably not. I said, and I went through a speaking company and they quoted me like, if you want him on, it's 40 grand. I was like, fucking no chance. Yeah. And I spoke to me mate, Wardy. He's a boxing promoter. And he said, oh, I've seen your video. You come on. Yeah. It's like, fucking hell. Yeah. That's insane, isn't it?
It is.
It's unbelievable.
It's just because he sees the genuine human standing in front, putting himself out there. It's putting yourself out there.
Guess what's mad, you know? My social media girl said to me, Paul, I've got an idea for a video. And it hasn't gone anywhere. Not many people have seen it, but I watched that video for the first time. I never watched it back. And last year I watched it for the first time and I had fucking goosebumps. I can't remember half of what I said. Because at that moment in my life, I was still emotional and it was all still raw. If I had to repeat that, I couldn't do it. I probably couldn't tell you about it again. The biggest thing I noticed was how smooth my ears are. I said, what are you talking about? I said, look how smooth my ears are compared to now. Ears are really lumpy. But I watched it and I was like, gee, and I got emotional because I was like, fucking hell, I was. I can describe being low now, but back then I was closer to it. I watched the video and I was like, it didn't even feel like me. Mad.
So, where are you now? Where's your head at now? And do you constantly manage? Do you still have issues? Are you have your ups and downs?
Nah. So I still have slight ups and downs, but I'm because of all the work that I've done, I've realised, and this triggers a lot of people when I say it, I think I've realised that actually we're in control of our emotions. I feel like I'm in control of my emotions. So it doesn't mean I don't think there's any negative emotions. I think all emotions are just feedback. That emotion's trying to fucking tell me something. So I still get all of those, I'm gonna call them unpleasant, right? I get these unpleasant emotions, but now I know how to deal with them in a more productive, constructive way. So I still feel pissed off. I just go and train jiu-jitsu. Do you know what I mean? I still get anxious. I just distract myself sometimes. I can distract myself better. But I'm passionate about, I've got a bit of a cheat code actually, because I know that people want to know, they want to learn from me. So when I learn it, I don't just learn it from me. I know I've got to share what I'm learning. So it goes in deeper, but I'm still really passionate about how the brain works, how the mind works, human behavior, myself, getting better for me, being an example to me kids. That's one of my biggest drivers. I want my kids to see what's possible. You know what I mean? I want them to see that they don't have to live. Ooh. I don't know where this has came from, mate. I want my kids to not have to go through all the shit that I've done and see all the shit that I've seen. And I want them to see that when you go all in on something or when you find your thing, fucking hell, you can kind of live any life you want, and that inspires me. Do you know what I mean? When people are like, oh, who's your inspiration? I'm like, them too. I want them to see, like, they've met some really cool people and been to some amazing places. And that's one of my biggest drivers. But then you've got the balance, the dad balance. I wrote a post about this dad balance of, well, I want them to have a life where they never have to worry about money, but I also want to spend loads of time with them. And that's, do you know what I mean? It's like, how do you get that balance? Well, if I work hard, I can get more money and then we can go to cooler places. And then I can buy this car for them when they're older and I can take them here and then I'll buy the house so they don't have to. And then I also don't want them to be spoiled little arseholes. You know what I mean? So there's this dad balance, right? Shall I work hard or shall I spend time with them? Do I want them to be spoiled arseholes? Do I want them to forge their own path? But ultimately, I want them to see what I do. And they've seen everything. The amount of time, they must be sick of seeing my live show. Do you know what I mean? Because I take them and they're into it and they're not bothered about, like I've got some friends that are quite famous, they don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? They just hang out with them, and I like them to think it's normal. Do you know what I mean? I like them to think that getting on the stage, my daughter's into drama, fucking no nerves. She's, her comedy timing's unbelievable. Like I don't know what she'll do, but she's no problem being on stage because she's seen me do it so many times. My son boxes, no nerves because he's seen me fight loads of times. Do you know what I mean? And I like to think that I've played some part in that.
You just instilled self-esteem and confidence in them.
I think I have.
That's what you've done.
By example, not by lecture, because they don't want to hear that. No. In fact, recently, my son, so he's been boxing a few years now. He had 2 unlicensed fights. He's 15, he fought a 24-year-old in the summer. Really? Unlicensed, he shouldn't have, really. But then he went in the amateurs, and a couple of weeks ago, he got hurt sparring, really heavy shot, and he had a bit of a meltdown. And that week, I thought I was going to have the dad talk, like, son, we don't give up when things get hard in this family. Son, if you give up now, you're going to regret it. And I went to have the dad talk with him, and he was ready. I thought he was like, I'm not boxing. He was meant to have a fight the same week. I'm not fighting. I'm not going to school because all his mates seen him get hurt. I'm not going to school. I'm not doing this. I'm not boxing ever again. And then, madly enough, we bumped into Josh Kelly at the match. And he said, because I talked to Josh on Instagram, I know his brother and he's a mindset guy. And he said, you must be Max, to my son. The same night he got sparked. The same fucking night. We went to the match. He didn't even want to go to the match. You know when we beat Burnley 3-0? He didn't want to go to the match where I thought I'd fucked his life up. I was like, fuck, I fucked his confidence forever. I didn't make him go to boxing, but pushing him to boxing, I fucked his life up forever. And then we're bumping into Josh at the match, and Josh went, you must be Max. I've never seen his face so excited. He had a fight on the Friday. Legit. And he had the mad part. The best part is I didn't have to force him. He just fucking did it. And the end of the first round, he puked up all over the ring. And then he won the second and third round. And that's my favourite part about it. I was like, I'm going to have to use all my motivational talks. I'm going to have to pull out all the old quotes. So Quinton's never winning that. Do you know what I mean? I thought I was going to have to pull it all out and charge him. Those after going to charge him my consultation fee. And then I went in his room and he was ready. And I was like, shit, that's amazing. And I was so chuffed with it. And Josh's video guy said, I was like, mate, say thank you to Josh. He was like, no, that wasn't Josh, that was you. I was like, no, I said, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. He said, never mind Josh being the world champion. He said, he's got you, his dad, that's why he's like that. And that made me emotional as fuck as well. Yeah. Wild.
But it's good that you can actually see it.
Because sometimes you can't. And my son's very quiet, shy, nothing like me. He'd come in the room, he'd sit there, you'd not bother, not say anything. You wouldn't be able to tell he was a fighter, you wouldn't be able to tell he's a hard fucker. And you probably wouldn't be able to tell he's my son because he'd just chill. He'd be calm and confident, not say anything. Whereas my daughter, she'd be on this, she'd be here now. She'd go, you would ask me a question, I'd start saying and she'll go, and you never guess what you did next. And she'd legit be here, right there. She's like me, but 12, a handful,
That's great.
It's mad, But that's the dad thing is something that I'm incredibly, that probably drives me more than growing a business, probably drives me more than impacting more men, probably drives me more than helping more men is just doing it so they see it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's the same kind of message though. For your kids, it's the same message for everybody else.
Living by example, leading by example.
Well, it is.
Fucking hell. Mate, if I can do what I do, anyone, do you know what I mean? I've got 2 years disease. I'm fucking riddled with ADHD. I've been diagnosed bipolar. I'm from Shields. I've never had a handout in my life. My dad worked in that same factory for 35 years. My mum worked in Asda. And I've done Harry. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are saying, what the fuck?
You feel quite content, Paul, in life?
I do, but I'm at the same time, I'm still fucking... I'm both.
There's always another chapter, but you're content here.
Very. Yeah, very. But I have to work hard on that. I have to... People say, on podcasts like this, sometimes you get asked about like habits, like high performance habits and that, and they'll go, what's one thing I journal religiously? And I don't mean gratitude, I'm just writing down who I want to have an impact on today, what I'm excited about, what my wins were that day, and I track this stuff constantly, and that just slows me down a little bit. Actually, I'm doing all right. Because when you've had things that have happened, like for example, how do you top filling the fucking Time Theatre on a Friday night for people to come and hear me talk? How do you top that? You can't. So you have to be, you can get caught in comparing every day to your best day or every week to your best week. Yeah. It's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah, because
you're never going to... podcast to your best podcast, it's hard.
Well, you're never going to enjoy it either.
Nah.
I think you just got to live in the pocket, live in the moment.
I'm very conscious of measuring any little wins that I have. I feel like I'm curating it. But at the same time, I'm still hungry as fuck for the next thing. I still want to prove more. I've still got that little bit of fuck you energy about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've still got a bit of that. And I just think, well, what else could I do? How else can I get in front of more people? How else can I impact more people? What other cool people could I meet?
I just want to ask you a little bit about gratitude, because I find it very difficult to do that.
Because you're not American. Are you telling me you haven't got an attitude of gratitude?
It's just really hard. It's not in us, is it?
It is. No.
It's kind of, be thankful. I really just can't get my head around that.
It is. I think a lot of this stuff, we've never been shown how. No. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the stuff now, I'm like, this is so obvious what I'm doing. People come into our program, I teach them this journaling stuff, I teach them this mindset stuff. Like, this is so obvious, but we've never been shown how to do it. Aye. And we're a nation that focuses on the negative, which means you get more of it. I'm just like, I wonder if we could shift the focus to what's working right now. What have I done well today? What have I got boxed off? What have I achieved? Who did I have a positive impact on today? What did I do today that moves me closer to my goals? Do you know what I mean? Well, every day, this is mad, one of the most important things I do is every day I write down 5 wins, however big, however small, 5 little victories that I had. It might be that I got up before my alarm went off. It might be that I did 6 rounds of jiu-jitsu today. It might be that my son went to boxing without us pushing him to go. It might be that this podcast will be on. It might be that I sent an email or I made a sale. Like that's where confidence and self-belief comes from me. It's evidence, isn't it? It's just evidence. So I make a point. I've done that every day since 2016. As I've wrote down, I started with 3, and then I was like, why would I start with 3? It's like saying no more confidence, no more self. Because that's what gratitude is for me. It's just appreciating what you have and what you've done.
So here's a one. Comparing actions as value,
yes,
or the monetary gain as value. Where do you see?
Ooh, I don't want to get paid for doing anything that I hate. I'm blessed that I get to do. I wouldn't say I love everything. It's still like, I hate doing PowerPoint slides, the fucking worst. Although AI is helping a lot with that now. My team can't even do that because I'm like, you've done a shit job of that, I'll just do it. They're brilliant at everything else, but slides, they're not doing it for me. But I'm blessed that I love what I do, but also, this is my belief. The more people I help, the side effect is I get paid more money. And I've got more free shit. I've got audio books, I've got courses, I've got obviously all my channels and that's free. But obviously if you want to come in and get to me, it's me living. It's me living this. So I'm like, well, the more people I help, the more money I get paid. So the side effect of being really fucking good at what I do is that I get paid loads of money for it. And everyone wins. Legit, everyone wins. If I win, everyone else wins. Yeah. You know my favourite thing, mate, is not when guys tell me about, and I love this, when guys say, oh, you changed my life. It's not me. I just give them some tools and make sure they fucking do it. Call them a dick if they don't do it. That's legit. Hold them accountable to doing it. So I'll teach them, I'll hold a space for them, I'll mentor them, I'll guide them. I'll surround them with other guys on the same kind of mission to them. Because this connection's a huge thing as well, I think. I think people are crying out for it at the minute. That's why I run so many events, run these events. But it's when their wives might come up to me. I mean, my wife will be, who's that? That's just cuddly for 5 minutes. I'm like, it's fucking his wife. We'll save his life. Do you know what I mean? And then sometimes we'll get a letter from someone's fucking kids and their mums, and that shit fills me heart so much. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So when the blokes are telling me, it's, oh, cool, mate, well done. Yeah. But when the family's affected, that's when I'm like, this is a big deal. Do you know what I mean? This is a big, because you don't realise you're kind of changing a whole family's life when when the guy does the work.
It's generations as well.
It is, aye. Imagine that, man. How cool is it? It's like, you know, when people talk about the butterfly effect, but if I can have an impact on one guy and he decides, you know what, I'm going to start journaling. Do you know what? I'm going to start meditating. Do you know what? I'm going to start taking my health seriously. Do you know what? I'm going to stop drinking and sniffing. That's fucking, or even just, I'm going to improve my business and I'm going to have a better work-life balance. Sometimes it's just that. It's not just them. It's the whole family's impacted by it, which is, and the side effect is everyone gets paid more money.
Yeah.
And I've got, it's a funny thing, especially in the Northeast, money is just so fucking taboo, innit?
It is, but
it's taboo. If you're really good at what you do, if you're the best, you should get paid loads of money.
You should get paid, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be rewarded for the things that you put in.
I think, you know, and this changed my life. What brought up me all that fucked up beliefs about money. But one of my coaches, Peter, said to me, what's money? I was like, when I posted on the internet, people say, that's the root of all evil. And then they'll go, it doesn't make you happy. And I was like, well, I've been broke as well, and I never had money.
I'd rather be happy.
I don't think it does make you happy, but it doesn't
make you happy, but I'd rather have more money so you can kind of have less.
Do things that make you happy.
Well, yeah. But it gives you, the thing is, money gives you freedom.
Gives you choices.
But as well, it does not give you back what you put into life. The balance is off. It's not
so
right.
Peter said to me, he said, what is it? And I said, I don't know. He said, I think it's an exchange of value. You think about the things that we spend money on beyond the basic needs. It's things that we value. It's things that we think is going to solve a problem for us, right? It is. Even if it's just feeling better for a little bit. Even if it's making us laugh, entertaining us, making us look better. So I'm like, well, he said to me, so if you spend money on things that you value, if you create something that other people value, they'll give you money in exchange for it. And it's got to be a fair exchange or people won't give you it. Yeah. People work with me. There's fucking guys who I've worked with for 7-8 years and they keep coming back because their life keeps getting better. So they see it as a fair exchange of value. Yeah. And so do I. I'm like, I put my fucking heart and soul into this. I put my whole life into it, really. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's anything quite like it, actually.
That's brilliant.
Just fill rooms full of fucking mental men. Honestly. We laugh at things we shouldn't laugh at. Yeah. That's why we hardly have our video cameras there. I turn the fucking mic off. Because we talk about shit that we create rooms where men talk about shit that you can't normally talk about.
Yeah, but it should be private. Some things are private. Some things are just for you. It's like saying things. It's just not for cameras. Some things are just for your eyeballs.
Some people go, I mean, I do coach some women as well, but they're obviously a very particular type of woman because I actively discourage. I don't discourage it. I just say I work with men. And I get a lot of shit for that, you know, which is mad. Why only men? I'm like, why not? And guess what? No fuck I can answer the question. Why only men? Why not? Fucking tumbleweed. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's different if it was like women coaching women. It's celebrated, isn't it? Really?
Celebrated, but we create that environment for especially businessmen because it is different. You've got to be think about it in the young days. You've got to be a special kind of tapped to run a fucking business in the UK right now. Yeah. you've got to be fucking, it's not normal. Yeah. Is it? Really? There's not much incentive now. You get your fucking arsehole ripped out of the HMRC, right? It's hard. There's not really an incentive to run a business. Yeah. There's no sick pay, no holiday pay, no fucking mental health days, legit, right? Sometimes your staff get paid more than you. The taxman gets paid more than you. You're not guaranteed any money from day to day sometimes. So you think about it, that's a mad kind of man, innit? You've got to be fucking mental. And sometimes, especially if none of your mates are self-employed, so none of my mates are self. This is why I struggled for it. None of my mates had businesses. None of my family had businesses. So I just felt it's lonely. It can be lonely sometimes, depending on the type of business that you have.
Yeah, on the same.
It's hard work, and because you feel like you can't talk to anyone about it because all you ever get is, oh, it must be nice. Oh, it must be nice having your own business. I'm like, what? Really? You know what I mean? I'll go on holiday somewhere, it must be nice. I'm like, you must have missed all them fucking 18-hour days that I did. You missed them? You must have missed that tax bill I just paid. Fucking hell. But it is, and this is why I kind of think what we do works as well, because we've created something really unique. By accident. Legit. A lot of it is by accident. I've done something, and it either works or it hasn't, and I've rolled with the thing that's worked, and people are like, how have you done that?
There's nothing better, though, than creating something from nothing and it being a thing.
It's amazing. It's like fresh air. I've created something from fresh air, and then it becomes an IP, and then you have a business, and then you have times where you fall out of love with it a little bit, and there's always moments where, and you will have the same. And I had it, funny enough, I had it last Tuesday, and I trained jiu-jitsu, and it was fine. I wanted to burn it to the ground. I was like, fuck it. Let's go, I'm done. Shall we just burn it? The staff were just being arseholes. Sent me, shall we just fuck it off? I actually say it every now and again, because our program works is some guys will pay for like the whole year in advance. So I often say, how much would it cost to just refund everybody? Because the guys that pay monthly, you could just stop. You could just be like, lads, I'm done. But then she'd be like, oh, $500,000. I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'll slug it out for a bit more. I'll go to jiu-jitsu, it's fine. But every business owner has that, I think, where you're like, would it be easier to just go and work in the fucking cinema? Do you know what I mean? Or would it be easier to get me mum to get us in at Asda? Do you know what I mean? Part of me would love that. Oh, mate, I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't know what to do. I am unemployable. Be like, imagine being my boss. Fuck me. There's only one person in the world that tells me what to do, and that's my wife. No one else. She's the only one that can get away with giving me instructions. So
one last thing, Bob. Any advice? One thing.
Yeah.
I know you're all full of advice.
Yes.
You've given a lot of it today. But one thing that you want to tell people out there.
Oh my God. Who's watching?
Could be anyone.
Okay.
This could be that one person. Just
he has one that I'm going to give you, because I'm pretty heavy on. I get asked a lot of questions because of the things that I do and who I've worked with and where I've been and the type of things that I go on. I get asked about men's mental health a lot. And I'm of the opinion that this whole message of just talk, it's not working. It's clearly not working. There's never been more mental health awareness. There's never been more mental health support, mental health clubs, mental health groups. Yet it's not changing. Yeah. It's not. The numbers are going up. So the message of just talk, it's not enough. You've got to change something else. And for me, for modern men, we need to talk about the drinking and the sniffing for a start. People just want to. Have you noticed that? We skirt around it. I'm like, that's fucking, for me, 80% of the problem. Stop doing that. Mm-hmm. And it's hard. It is hard. Mm-hmm. I get that, but we need to talk about that more. Let's find another outlet. Let's find another way to handle it. Let's have a look at the actual downsides. Let's just talk about that. The second piece is, I think, and this will get worse for Gen Z, is this connection piece. I think blokes don't hang out with each other as much as they used to, except in a bar. I think that connection piece is huge. And that's probably part of the reason why I love jiu-jitsu so much. I think us guys get to a certain age where we can't play football and do sports as much anymore, so you miss the crack. Do you know what I mean? So you miss that connection, and then you just get this point. I think you have kids, and then it's their social life versus yours, and you just become isolated, I think, as a bloke. So I think you've got to find your club, your tribe, your fucking whatever that is. I think you've got to have, and that might be something totally different. I started jiu-jitsu because I couldn't play football anymore. And I love rolling around the floor with really tight clothes on with young men. But the third piece is, and I think this is huge, and this is what I'm big on, I mentioned it before, and this is part of my problem. And actually, I spoke to Tyson Fury about it, I spoke to Ant Middleton about it, James Hassel, all these guys who've had the same mental health challenges when they stopped striving. They got to this point in their life where they're like, I've made it now. What next? And I think for us men, we almost get to the point where you think about it, we're encouraged, let's leave school, let's go to college, let's get a job, let's meet a bird, let's get married, let's have a kid. Then what? A lot of us have stopped striving. We don't go for the promotion. We don't go for the next job because we're tired. Do you know what I mean? Our life becomes about our kids a little bit. And I just think we stop striving. And when we do that, we kind of we wander through life, just getting tossed around a little bit by life, by circumstances. But I think when you've got that fucking animal to hunt, it gives you that, I don't know what that is, that's a stiff dick. It gives you that oomph, it gives you that fucking, I think we lose the fire in our belly. And I think part of it's just because we stop setting goals. We stop setting these little challenges for ourselves. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's, for men, would say men lose that purpose. But purpose is just a feeling. It's not what you are born to do. It's just a feeling. You get it when you strive for something that you really give a fuck about. That's my advice is find your thing that you give a fuck about and keep striving for it, man. And don't settle. Because I think if you settle, you get what you settle for. You kind of get what you settle for. You get what you tolerate. So let's not settle for a life that you don't want. You know what I mean? And again, I get that sounds easy coming from me, but there's no reason why someone can not have a goal. Even if it's let's get the next belt in jiu-jitsu, let's have a fucking charity boxing match, let's start a business, let's start a side hustle, let's get that promotion, let's date my wife 3 times a week, let's take the kids here. All these little mini goals you've got. That's what I said to Tyson Fury struggles with his mental health when he doesn't have goals. Why do you think he's back fighting? He doesn't need the money. Does he? Just announced this week, he don't need the money. But he needs the challenge of training for a fight. He needs the next thing. And I don't know when that goes. Maybe if it's not boxing, it might be something else. He might start coaching or something. Do you know what I mean? But men, we need a fucking animal to hunt. We need a mission. Yeah. All
you've got is time and effort, but the ownership's on you.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know what? The other day, someone made a comment on my post. I was saying in 2012, 2014, 12 years ago, I hated myself. And I hated myself because I never kept promises to anyone. I kept breaking promises, breaking agreements. I say one thing and do another. I'll start on Monday. I'll never do that again to my wife. And I got to the point where I became unreliable and I didn't trust myself. And someone made a comment like, oh, that was your bipolar and your ADHD and that. I'm like, it's too easy for me to blame that. It was me. I get that it's harder because I was diagnosed bipolar and because I was diagnosed ADHD. I get that it was harder, but it was still me making the fucking decisions. Do you know what I mean? So you brought that up. You brought that, the responsibility piece. I think that we're in control of, the two of the things that we're in control of is how we behave and how we feel. And a lot of people don't like that second one, but if I'm not in control of how I feel, who is? So yeah, I went on a rant there, sorry.
Perfect, Paul. Nice end.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Great questions.